Ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome back. This is still Hello Nigeria. We're delighted that you've decided to keep it a date with us here on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, the first Wednesday in the month of August. Now, we have an august guest for you, as promised. She is a woman who is doing phenomenal things and is not allowing her age to disturb or make her feel intimidated. She is awesome, she's fantastic, and she's doing great work. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us the founder of Girl Hub Africa in the person of Gusi, Tobby, Lord Williams. Hi, Gusi.
Hi,
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for joining us in Hello Nigeria.
Thank you.
So first of all, I'm curious, when we talk about volunteering is not because you have all the time. A lot of the time people volunteer is because they're sacrificial people, They're not thinking of, oh, I'm busy. They are busy, but they're able to manage their time. And I don't think that's a concept we're too familiar with in Nigeria. Now, in the UK, I think it's a normal thing when they go on breaks. What inspired you to decide that, you know what, I want to focus on volunteering? Because I don't think it's really a Nigerian thing. A lot of young people want to give their services, they want to give their time, but they want money in return. But you are doing what you do without money. So tell us, where did all this come from?
Okay, so basically, I think in my first year in school, I started volunteering for social clubs that needed, they had little or no manpower at all. So I was like, okay, I can help out. And before you know it, I started learning some skills. And my friend would say, where did you learn this thing from? And I'm like, oh, I volunteered at so place. That was how I learned it. And we started growing. It was like a clique, started growing. And then from there, it became something serious. So I thought about it. Sometimes I go online and I see ads, volunteers needed. And I'm like, okay, there's no particular place where you can say you have a place for ushers, you have a place for mechanics, you have a place for anything you want to do, but there's no hub or a network for volunteers. And I thought about it and said, okay, volunteering has helped me a lot, and it's going to help a lot more girls out there. So why can't I just have like a network of girls who volunteer, who are willing to do this thing for free? And then that was how it started. So
wonderful. I wanted to ask you, why girls? Because boys can also volunteer.
Yeah, because I have a passion for women and girls. Basically, I have a very strong passion for women and girls because in this part of Africa, as we all know, girls are disadvantaged at some point. I mean, the guys are allowed to do some things, but the girls really are not allowed to do so many things. So I'm like, okay.
Thankfully, that narrative is changing.
Yeah. Right now it is. So, and we are doing more to make it a better place for everybody to live in.
And how long have you been doing this? How long have you started Girls Hub?
Okay, Girl Hub, like I said, since my first year, that's like 5 years ago, and everything. But I would say fully, like officially and everything, it's like 4 months.
How's it been?
The ups and downs, I mean.
Let's hear them.
Okay. There are challenges, but trust me, by the time you keep going, you're inspiring people. It makes you want to do it more and more. When we started like officially the Girl Hub proper, it wasn't easy to make people stay because you have to get the volunteers, train them because the tag is professional female volunteers. We have professional ushers, we have professional professional TV host, but we don't have professional volunteers. So we make them professional volunteers by training them now, making them stay and go forward with the course was something that was really strong. And another thing was funding. I mean, for everybody that says something free in Nigeria, funding is a bit of an issue.
To take care of logistics.
A lot of logistics, yes. That was a bit of an issue, but we're pulling through. Everything's fine.
Can you tell us about, there was a video of you talking to a group of children.
Okay, yes. This was the Touch Me Not campaign. It was powered by the Amazing Amazon Initiative, talking to children in upper primary schools and secondary schools on child sexual abuse, the prevalence of rape, domestic violence, and we had to go around. That was Benin City. We had to go to around the states. That was actually how we started growing larger in all the states to talk to these children, and trust me, we gained lots of experiences. I learned a lot from this campaign. Yeah.
And it's interesting that it's starting at a young age because this is when you need to tell them that, look, it's wrong. And I like the whole tag, touch me not.
Touch me not. Yes.
I like that you mentioned that when you first volunteered, you realized that you started learning skills.
Yes, I did.
And over time, people would ask you, oh, where did you learn this? And you say, I volunteered. So what are some of the skills that you've learned in the process of volunteering?
First of all, I gained confidence. I used to be very shy. When I tell people, they're like, you, Toby, Toby, you're shy. Yeah. I used to be very shy, so I gained a lot of confidence. I gained the communication skill, the people skills, and my social skills too. I learned all these things from volunteering, which are very resourceful to me right now. So that's a whole lot. And then basic administrative skills, I learned them too. And I also learned, okay, how to operate a computer. I mean, in my school, I went to a government school. I was never taught all of that. But while volunteering, I learned how to operate a projector, how to organize events, how to meet with people, how to send mails, all of that.
Very important part.
Yeah.
How to send mails.
And then another thing is you gain from different type of events because it's not just
yes,
a particular.
it's not just one
so you
kind
learn
of
from
event.
every
There's
sphere of
several
life.
of them. So as different as they are diverse. So this one is doing medicals. This one is doing charity. This one is doing engineering. This one is doing social events. You learn from all these things and put them together.
All right, now if you were to sell volunteering, like you said, it's not a concept yet being accepted by people because for Nigerians, it's show me the money. Where is the money?
I'm telling you.
But if you
don't
were
have
to
money, hide
sell,
your face.
you've mentioned some of the benefits to you as an individual with regards to volunteering. If you were to sell it to someone who is saying, I need money, I need to pay my bills, what would you say? Why should I, as a woman, give up my time, my sleep, to go out there and work for free, as the saying goes?
Okay, so first of all, for a woman to be resourceful, I believe you need three things. You need your social skills, your people skills, and you also need your communication skills as a woman for you to be resourceful and stay relevant in this society, Nigeria, to be precise. And when you cannot go to a particular school and say you want to learn the skills, our schools these days don't even provide the structure for you to go and volunteer except there's a monetary gain attached to it. So I believe when you volunteer at different events or for organizations, you learn these basic skills you need as a woman for you to be resourceful and stay relevant in the society.
Now, there are several people who think, okay, you know what? I should probably volunteer when I am not yet in university, when I have some free time. But the moment I get into university, I'm too busy with school. So what kind of people are eligible to volunteer? Or do you accept in your network?
We accept, I would not say everybody, but almost everybody because they get screened before they come in. But we have packages for our volunteers. We have the online volunteers, we have the weekdays, and then we have the weekend volunteers. So the students, we advise them to volunteer online as well as weekdays. And then when they're on holiday, on break, like I think some of them are now, they volunteer weekdays too. So I believe the weekday volunteers are for the working moms. They want to volunteer online. We have some mothers that are like they have 3 children, 4 children, and they're like, oh, I want to do this thing, but I wouldn't really have the time because my kids are always here and there. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can volunteer online. Help us out online. The students are, oh, I have classes. I can't really leave my classes. And weekends are free for you, right? Volunteer weekends. And then for the weekdays, those that have the time weekdays, volunteer weekdays.
Great.
All right.
Right, so volunteering, I mean, something I picked up from that and what a number of people don't understand is that volunteering is not just for people who are jobless, people who don't. Even people in full-time employment can decide to, because it is, one of the benefits is also giving back as well in terms of volunteering. Now, I know in other countries, as you might have, you know, with your research on volunteering, the government promotes volunteering. I know in the UK, for instance, every county has a body that is dedicated to train volunteers, to promote that because they've seen the immense benefit, not just to the community, but even to individuals themselves of volunteering. I know currently in Nigeria, we don't have that provision. What should the government be doing to promote volunteering in Nigeria?
First of all, I think the government should start from the schools to promote volunteering because I know in my school we have the work study, where for indigent students, in quotes, students that don't really have the money and everything. But basically, it's for the monetary gain and everything. It's not for anything. So I think we should start from the schools. The government should start from the schools. Okay, students should start volunteering. And when they come out, when they see the benefits, they actually don't want to leave it. Because when we started, and we started seeing mothers coming to say, I want to volunteer, we volunteered at some events, and mothers were saying, oh, I want my children to be part of it. We have teen volunteers in the network. So it was really enlightening for me. So I think the government should start from the schools.
When you say schools, you're talking of like secondary schools or how
Secondary schools, tertiary institutions, because we have teenage volunteers who help us out too. So I think it should start from the secondary schools. Because if you go to the UK, you see a small child coming to, can I help you?
Yeah.
How many walk down the streets in Nigeria? Can I help you? Really? How many of that would you find? So,
Okay, we'll talk more about Girl Hub Africa, but let's talk about you personally.
Oh.
Toby, you are a lawyer. You're a graduate of...
I'm a law graduate.
A law graduate,
yes.
yeah. So you've not yet gone to law school.
Not yet.
So how are you able to juggle it? I know that studying law is very tasking. And then you have these courses, you have equity and trust and all those stuff. Jurisprudence is one of the most scary courses in university for a lawyer. They say the fear of jurisprudence is the beginning of wisdom.
Exactly.
How are you able to juggle studying law and volunteering at the same time?
Okay, all right. First of all, I would say I had a very good and supportive family. My dad, to be precise, my dad is like baby boy. So most times I always wanted to do this, like I said, volunteering and everything. And I would be in school. If I did not have like a family that supported me in what I was doing, I'd probably be scared of doing some things. But I had a group study group that we would always read together, and it was balancing. It was not so hard. I know I had to do a lot of traveling, or establishing Owerri, establishing Abuja, establishing Port Harcourt. It was crazy, but I started doing all those from 400 to final year, and it was good because I was doing them break periods most of the time. During my break, I travel more. And then back to school, I just come back, do this, and then...
You mentioned establishing Port Harcourt. How many places Girl Hub Africa?
Oh, we have 13 chapters in Nigeria, and then we have Tanzania and Ghana.
Beautiful.
That's amazing.
When you started, did you see yourself doing this as...
I knew that we were going large. I knew I was going to go large because it was an African vision. Yeah. It was not just a Nigerian thing, but I knew I needed to conquer local before going international. So I had to... established in various states, and I know some other states still need, that's Tanzania, and I know some other states still need this volunteering spirit. They need a volunteering network there. Yeah. So I believe we're still going to visit all these places eventually.
All right. Now, ordinarily, when you're managing a group of people in a small place, the challenges are immense. Oh, no. In fact, just being a WhatsApp group administrator is a problem on itself. Exactly. But you get to have to manage girls from different cultures, different geographical locations, in different countries. How do you manage people? How do you manage? Yes.
Yes, that's one thing. Well, surprisingly,
management for people who want
to do that. I think. First of all, people will always tell me, oh, you have lots of girls. You know, girls can always beef. Yeah. I'm like, really? Not with my girls. I think with the structure we have in place in Girl Hub, there's really no space for all of that. So there's a proper structure where everybody understands, okay, we're here to work. Some people will feel like, oh, it's a voluntary thing. We should do it anyhow. No. Yeah. With the structures we have in place, and with the kind of trainers they see when they come, because when you come in, you get the training. Kind of trainers, I think everybody's up and you want to do everything real quick. You do. There are no lapses. I don't think so.
So talking about structures, governance. So you have a tight structure in place.
Yes, we have a team. Every chapter has a team, that's an executive team that handles them, and then we have a national team for Nigeria at large. Yes.
How do you recruit volunteers? Do you advertise, or it's just referrals and word of mouth?
Not really. Okay, so those that are interested in volunteering, they reach out, they send an interest mail to girlhubafrica@gmail.com, and then they go through an interview, an online interview, more like a survey. And for those that are screened from the survey, we now do like a Skype interview or telephone interview with them. And then for those that pass, they come in and then start training them.
Nice.
All right, so now what's the dream for Girl Hub Africa? Where do you see this going in the next few years?
Okay, that's fine. We're currently talking to our partners, the Beautiful New Foundation. We're talking to them on how we can expand. However, we don't want to expand beyond our core focus for now. Our core focus is training and developing these volunteers with relevant skills, basically. But we don't want to just grow out of proportion without having resources and experts to match our size for now. So eventually, we see Girl Hub growing. For the end of this year, I think the end of this year, we're looking at reaching out to West African countries, to establish in West African countries. And in the next few years, we really want to just inculcate the spirit of volunteering in every young woman in Africa.
Wow.
Fantastic. And keep spreading the word. This is, it's good to keep them, like they say, the idle mind is the devil's playground. Exactly. So, and lots of benefits to this.
Yes, there is. Yes.
I know that Shakespeare will say that music and women are without numbers, but I want to put you on the spot. And I'm putting you on the spot to ask you your age, not because I want to embarrass you, not at all. Because it's something that I think you should be proud of.
Okay.
It's something that I think a lot of people, parents, should see. That if as young as you are, you're doing this much, then people should sit down and actually reevaluate themselves. So please, can you tell us how old you are?
Okay, I was born April 20th, 1996. I'm 21 years old.
And you've done all this. You should be so proud of yourself.
Thank you.
We are rooting for you. We can't wait for the amazing things that you will do through Girl Hub Africa and other projects.
I almost want to ask you to present provide your birth certificate. I refuse to believe that when you were born, I was just leaving secondary. I was leaving primary school.
my God.
I was in secondary school.
Did you say I'm his age mate?
I'm 22.
Wow, I see. You know,
Forever 21.
I wish that I knew a lot of the things that she knew when I was her age. I wish that I did a lot of these things. I did a lot. Then I didn't see it as volunteering. I was saying to Ayo that it was when I got older. Yes, exactly. I used to see it as free job. They're calling me to host for free. I'm doing free job. I didn't see a lot of them as volunteering. But what people don't understand is that when you volunteer, it boosts your CV.
The
You can keep
experience.
adding
You also
exams.
gain a lot of skills.
Exactly. It's a fantastic experience. Now, if people want to volunteer, people want to be a part of what you do, people want to support, how can they reach out to you?
Okay, so we have a website, girlhubafrica.org, and they can also send a mail to girlhubafrica@gmail.com if they want to support us in any way they can.
Okay.
Currently, how do you fund your travels? How do you fund logistics? Where do you get the money
And
from?
by the way, they have uniforms for almost every event. How do you provide for all those things?
Okay, that's one of the challenges we face anyway. But thank God we have a partner, the Beautiful Onye Foundation. It's a foundation, a charity organization based in the UK, but they're working actively in Nigeria. So we're an active partnership, they are financial and consultancy partners. So they have mostly been doing this for us. But then it doesn't mean we still need.
No, they are amazing. I mean, Ayo and I had encountered them in one event and they wanted to feed us to death. They would come, are you okay?
Very
Do you need some more food?
professional.
Extremely professional. I must commend you for the wonderful work you're doing.
Thank
and we
you
look forward to being supportive in any way that we can.
To be volunteers.
Yes, to be
Yeah, and I
on
have
your
a feeling
platform.
CNN is going to do a profile on you.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Benga has never prophesied like this for any guest. So yeah,
I
you should take
received
it.
that. I received.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I have something for you for Ayo, and unfortunately, Benga, it's
No,
Girl
it's fine.
Hub.
Oh, how sweet
So
of
I have
you.
the shirts here for you.
Thank
Only.
you.
So don't worry, just thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Don't worry. You can just.
Oh, Girl Hub Africa.
I'm
This
really
is so nice.
excited. I'm
Thank
going
you
to
so
wear
much.
this.
Thank
I'll wear
you.
it. I'll take
Proudly.
pictures. I will post on Instagram and then we will volunteer for something.
Yes.
Oh, yes,
We have
sure.
to.
Please
so-
call on
I'm
us.
so
I'd love
jealous.
to volunteer.
Okay.
Sorry, Benga.
He can
Benga, you
start
can
a
actually,
boil.
exactly, you can start
On
boil
Man
up.
Crush Monday, we're going to invite Lewis Hamilton and he'll give me a car.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Really
having me.
grateful. This
Thank
is
you.
beautiful. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.